So what are the basic estate planning documents we all need? We're going to talk about that in more detail in this video. My name is Pantea Fozouni with Palm Desert Law Group, and today we're going to talk about basic estate planning documents that all of us need. Now, if you are over the age of 18, there are three documents that basically all adults need. The first is what's called an Advanced Healthcare Directive. The second is a power of attorney, and the third is a basic will. If you have any type of assets, if you own a home, if you own retirement accounts, investment accounts, anything else, then it's also important to also talk about a trust, because you may also need a trust. But at the very least, we all need an Advanced Healthcare Directive, a power of attorney, as well as a basic will. So what is an Advanced Healthcare Directive? An Advanced Healthcare Directive here in California is basically a legal document that says what your wishes are in the event that you end up in the hospital. So it'll have basic provisions such as whether you want to prolong life or not prolong life, if there are any particular dietary needs that you have, if you're vegan, gluten-free, vegetarian, paleo, anything like that, you can put those type of instructions on. And the most important thing is you're designating who your agents are going to be, who are going to have the ability to make healthcare decisions for you in the event that you're not able to make those healthcare decisions. The second document we talked about, that power of attorney, is basically giving someone the authority to be able to pay your bills and keep the lights on for you during the time that you're incapacitated, during the time that you're in that hospital. Without that, or without the Advanced Healthcare Directive, the people you love, the people who are going to be taking care of you, are actually going to have to go to court to be appointed so that they have the rights to do those things. And one, we want to make things as simple as possible for the ones we love, but two, particularly in the event of if you're in the hospital, sometimes you have minutes and days to make decisions, not potentially days and weeks to go through the court process for someone to be able to make vitally important decisions for you. The third document that we talked about is a will. Even if you think you have nothing, you have something. And so it's important to have at least a very basic will that's going to talk about where you want your assets to go. And if you're a parent, it's incredibly important for you to have a will, because you're going to want to name long-term guardians for your kids. Why? Because if you don't name them, then it's going to be up to a judge, a complete stranger, who's going to make those decisions for you, where your kids are going to go. And for all of the parents out here, I know that that's one of the major things that we think about all of the time in terms of what's going to happen to my kids if something happens to me. The beautiful thing is when you do even bare basic estate planning, even if you're just doing Advanced Healthcare Directive, power of attorney, and will, you're going to have some control, as opposed to leaving all of the control in the hands of someone who doesn't know you and who doesn't know your family. Finally, the last set that I mentioned is a trust. Now, I mentioned that if you have some assets, if you own a home, if you have retirement accounts, bank accounts, other types of assets, life insurance, if you have stuff, having those bare basic documents is not going to be enough to protect your family. However, this video is going to end up being too long if I try to cram it all into this one video, so I have a whole separate video talking just about trusts and what you need for the trust in our next video, so please check that out.